So my name is Madison, and I'm going to be interviewing 3 people for my self-awareness project. 3 people being my aunt, my coworker, and my friend. So I'm going to ask them a set of questions, all being the same. The first one is going to be, what are my 3 biggest strengths, and then my 3 biggest weaknesses, and then a personality trait. So here it goes. So this is my friend Dana. What do you consider to be my 3 greatest strengths? Why do you think this?
So one of them I think is athletic, because obviously you've been a major athlete with water polo and swim and all kinds of things like that. Very intelligent and very kind and caring, always reaching for more and gonna be amazing someday, very successful and always trying to help people. And then very confident. Personality wise, just very confident, knowing that this is how it is, this is how I feel, and you don't put up with anyone's crap. Like, this is how it is, and you're not going to be pushed around by somebody.
Okay, what about my 3 biggest weaknesses?
So I don't see a whole lot of weaknesses, honestly. I do think that being fragile with trust issues, because there's been issues in your history when you were a kid that caused that. And I think that you are scared to be alone, which is also issues from the past. And that you get hurt easily. And that hurt easily is something that I feel like I have to, because no one is ever going to be us, and we expect people to be amazing human beings. And not everyone is as good as we are. Sorry.
Okay. Do you think there are any characteristics, behaviors, personality traits that you don't see in myself but you see in you? That you see? No, that I don't see.
That you don't see, but I see of you.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the biggest ones I think is very helpful. And that goes back obviously when you're a Girl Scout and oh my gosh, what's it called? The main one. You got
Gold Award?
The Gold Award, yeah, the big award. And that's pretty much impossible to get for most people. And that was obviously because you were so helpful and you had to do so many service projects. And I see that you're helpful, like with your aunt all the time, that she can't like put her shoes on and she can't do so much because of her handicapness. And I see that you're always there to help her for anything she needs, even if it's inconvenient, which is most of the time. I love her. And for your brother to be there for him and supporting him through everything in your guys' lives, and your parent, or not your parents, sorry, and your grandparents, and just other people in your life that you've just been really helpful with, and just an amazing person.
Thank you.
You're not afraid to address people when you think that they have wronged you in some way, or when an issue has come up that needs to be resolved.
An example of that would be?
Well, when you were in kindergarten, a little boy invited everybody in your class to his party except you, and the mother allowed it. And I got a call from your mom, and she said, I don't know what to do. And I said, what? And she said that you walked right up to the mother and asked why you weren't invited to the party. Why was everybody else invited to the party but you weren't? And you wanted an answer. And I really admired that about you. And I said, I told you, Mom, I said, you know what? You leave it alone. She did good. Because that never should have happened, particularly an adult should have known better.
So 2 more.
Another thing that I love and admire about you is that you have a beautiful heart. You see the beauty in everybody, even when others don't. And you see people's worth and value sometimes when other people don't. And I love that about you, because you are a very kind and giving person, and that trait that you have I think that it draws people to you, And I think it makes you a good leader, because to be a good leader, you have to know the value that you have in the people that are around you.
One more strength.
One more strength. Gosh, you have so many. Which one do I want to pick? You are not afraid to set your mind to something and then go achieve it. I don't want to call them weaknesses.
Their weaknesses.
No, I want to call them something to work on. I don't think you realize how beautiful you are, both inside and out.
That's not a weakness yet.
And I don't think it is, because I don't think you realize how profoundly you affect people and their lives, and what a difference you make for people.
Okay.
And I think if you realize that, God, you'd be unstoppable. You already are, but even more so. You hold grudges.
An example of that?
I wonder where you get that from. There are certain people who are not invited to your wedding, because not that a wedding is planned, but you have decided even before having a wedding planned that there are certain people that are not invited to your wedding because you were not invited to theirs, and you felt that you should have been very good family friends. And so you have just decided that they will not be welcome at your wedding, and that's the way that it is. And they will not be there because you will escort them off of the property if you have to.
You're not wrong.
So, but I don't think it's always good to hold a grudge. I think sometimes you gotta let stuff go, or forgive, not for the other person, but for yourself.
One more.
Sometimes I think that you get overwhelmed at things that it's like you can't see the forest for the trees, and you get overwhelmed in things. And when you get overwhelmed, you reach a point where you just go hibernate. Like you stop moving forward. And somebody has to go in and pull you out of that. And usually it's not without good reason. You are dealing with very overwhelming circumstances. But I think as you go through life and you experience more things, I would hope that you would learn to address things a little more, maybe a little more directly, a little differently. And that first strength that I was talking about, where you're not afraid to face things head on. When you get overwhelmed, I would like to see a little bit more of that trait come in, where you face things head on, because I think it would really make a difference. And I think one of the things that you don't realize that you have is that you have this wonderful gift of being able to listen to somebody and bring them peace.
So, this is Ashley, my coworker.
Hello.
So I'm gonna ask her the 3 questions. So the first question is going to be my 3 biggest strengths.
Do I have to elaborate on them, give examples, or just can I just name 3?
Well, I'll have a follow-up question, but just name 3 and then I'll ask you to explain it.
You're persistent. You're hardworking. And you're definitely loyal.
Care to elaborate on any of those?
Oh, okay. Jeez. Well, so I did have to elaborate. Okay, hardworking. You always pick up extra shifts whenever you can. You stay over and come in early when you can.
3 a.m.
You stay up late working on homework rather than just saying whatever. You actually follow through and get it done, and you work a lot and really hard.
Okay. So now my 3 biggest weaknesses.
Jeez, no. You're stubborn. God, you're stubborn. You're blunt.
Yeah.
That's not always a bad thing, but sometimes it's bad. What's the third one?
No, there's not many.
Get out of here. Your third one? Let's see. Sometimes you're closed-minded.
Okay. You want to explain that one?
Closed-minded?
Yeah.
You know how you like things done, and you sometimes willing to explore other options and ways that such a thing could be done.
Okay. So last question is a personality trait that you see in me, but I don't.
I don't. I think sometimes you don't think you're like the smartest person, but you actually are really smart. Like, but you don't think that you are though. Sometimes, like you're like, but like you're a really good student. But like you're also like have like a lot of like common sense too. Like you actually are like really smart.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so this concludes the interview with Ashley, my coworker.
And her dog.
And her dog. One of the things that I didn't know was that I was smart. My coworker pointed that out. I mean, everybody thinks like, oh yeah, they're smart, but I didn't realize that people actually thought that I was genuinely smart, or like I had a lot of common sense. So that when she said that, when my coworker actually said that, I was kind of like, oh, okay, all right. And then I know when my friend Dina, she said that I don't put up with anybody's crap, that I already knew that because I'm very blunt. I say it how it is, and if I don't like something, you're probably gonna know it because I'm pretty confrontational. So I don't do that. I don't know if that's really a pro or a con. Let's see. I'm very stubborn, as Ashley said. That comes to bite me sometimes, but other times it does not, because it plays into what my aunt said. When I put my mind to something, I achieve it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think.